Hello again, Doctor. Today we are going to start a 9-part video series on the 9 things that you need to do in order to get ready for 2014. So we're coming up here towards the end of the year, last couple months, the home stretch, and these are the things that you need to do now in order to be ready to hit the ground running in 2014. So where do you start? We're going to start at the beginning. Number 1, first thing you need to do is set goals. And I don't know how that hits you. Because some people might hear that and just be like, well, duh, obviously we need to set goals. Then other people might be like, you know, I'm just not good at setting goals. I travel the country, I talk to a lot of chiropractors, and as I'm talking to them, a lot of my clients will be like, I just never set goals, I've never been good at that, I just kind of go with the flow. And those practices to me are just floating. The phone rings, they answer it. Someone walks in the door, they take care of them. New patient calls, they take care of them. They're not really manufacturing their business. They're not creating their life. They're not in control of their own destiny. So you have to have goals in order to build a business. You have to pay a little bit of attention to stats. You don't have to be a numbers guy. You don't have to be analytical. You at least have to have some stats, and you have to have some goals, and you have to know what you're working towards. And I'll tell all my clients when I first show up for an on-site consultation, the first thing we're going to do up on the whiteboard, not this whiteboard, but the whiteboard in their office, is draw out the goals with their entire staff and team there, so that we all have agreement on those goals. Because one exercise I do is I get I have them all kind of shout out their goals, and the doctor's goals are different than the staff's goals, and that's not good. So we got to get very clear about our goals. We got to have them in writing. We got to have them written in present tense, and the whole team has to know about them. They have to be able to repeat those goals, whatever they might be, so that we're all kind of on the same wavelength. And as I tell all my clients when we do this goal setting workshop, is once we have those numbers on the board, which real quick, we don't want to think about our patients as numbers, and that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, we're in a really cool business where we get to take care of people, and us having more success means that our patients are getting healthier, so it's wonderful. So when I'm talking about goals and stats, obviously I don't want to look at our patients that way. We know that we're actually changing lives by doing that, but still, to run a business, we got to look at the numbers, we got to look at the profit margins, we got to look at those things. So when we have those numbers on the board, the one thing I tell all the staff and the doctors is that if I did nothing else, if I simply left the on-site consultation at that point, which I wouldn't do, but if I did leave, we'd be heading in the right direction. Just having those goals, that target off in the distance, gives you momentum. It moves you towards that, it attracts you towards it. So if every week you're looking at those goals, and you're looking at your statistics and seeing where you're at, you can at least process what else you need to do to get there. You'll figure out the steps along the way, and it might not be a straight path, it might be curved. And obviously, like I said, in my consultations, I show them the path to get to those goals. But if we did nothing else but put that target out there, at least we would find our way there. So you have to have those goals. Your staff has to be aware of them. And again, you have to have them written down in a positive, present tense way. And they don't have to be exotic. Go Google goal setting workshops and do any one of them out there. They're all good. It's just a matter of having goals. You don't have to spend hours and hours doing them. Now, one of the reasons I recommend you doing it this time of year, for me, it's always been a Thanksgiving thing. Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away here. So as we're going through this 9-part series, I'm going to be talking about goals a little bit. But for me, it was always Thanksgiving. Like, I kind of spent a little bit more time doing some of the other steps. But I bring up goals first because we can't move into 2014 without it. The only reason I do it at Thanksgiving is because, again, times for me, I wake up early Thanksgiving morning, I start writing my goals. I don't always finish them on Thanksgiving. I finish them throughout the weekend. But I wake up early before the kids get up, grab some coffee, and I just start writing out my goals for the next year. I obviously have them in mind, and that's why I'm doing this video for you today, because it gives you 3 weeks to start processing your goals. Start thinking about what you want, both in your business and in your life, and that's an important part as well. Your business should serve your life. It should support your life. Too often these days, the business is your life. A lot of my clients are so stressed out in the business that it becomes their life. It should not be that way. First and foremost, let's look at your life. What do you want? How much money do you want to make next year? How much freedom do you want? How much time do you want to spend with your family? Think about those things first, and then work your way back into, so now what does my business have to look like in order to create that life for myself? And then we can look at the numbers in the business. But again, it shouldn't just be about the numbers. We're going to be talking in this series about creating a business around you and what you like to be. So it should just be a business that is just there for the business, just for the money so you can support your life. You should enjoy the business as well. So don't just think about the numbers. Think about how you want to spend your day, the kind of people you want to spend your day with. Write those things out and you will get more of them. So again, Don't care how you set your goals, just set goals. They can be as simple as right now, and I want to make this much money this year, and these are the kind of people I want to spend time with, and just have some kind of focus in them. But share them with your staff, and again, get everybody involved in that. That goal setting process, whether you do it now, whether you do it on Thanksgiving or do it before, so let me tell you a little bit more. The reason I do it on Thanksgiving, one of my old mentors used to say it takes 90 days for a goal to set in. So if you set a goal today, it takes 90 days for it really to get into your brain. Thanksgiving's about, what, 35 days before the end of the year. That was kind of good enough for me. And again, for me, it was just the fact that I was thankful at that time in my life. It was a time for me to look ahead and really be there with gratitude. That's why I do it at Thanksgiving. Whether you take that philosophy or not, doesn't matter, but as long as you do it sometime between now, I'd say the middle of December, get those goals written down on paper, share them with your staff, you're going to be off to a good start. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 coming in a couple of days. Talk to you then.